open this up a little bit if I can. Give me just a second, guys. I don't want to overpower the screen. So there you go. That's a little better. That's enough. You guys can see me. It's been a minute. Well, first off, shout out to um, God, the people who have been dinging me up and won't let me not address the fact that Jholie Moussa's murderer has been officially charged. Thank you for, I guess, poking me. You know, it's only right that I address it. Most of you know of this particular case because of me, um, and followed it with me from, I guess, her just being a note on Facebook of a family just wanting their daughter to come home safe, to the search parties and the theories about who, what, when, and where. It's been a bit of a roller coaster ride when it came to Jholie Moussa, and it was a lot different than a lot of the cases that we have followed together because we kind of followed this one from the very beginning, since the very, what was it, like the very same week she came up missing, and it was a journey. It was a bit much, and yeah, it kind of got me because I went from just following it like everyone else to being privy to a whole lot of information along the ride. So it got a bit, I became a little attached, like she was one of my kids because, you know, when you get so much information, anyway, you know how that thing goes. Um, like most of you, I wanted her to come home safely. Gosh, we were pushing hard for this baby to come home safely. And we had a lot of theories about who, what, when, and where. And a lot of us got it wrong, including myself. I had some theories, man. It was some weirdos coming out the woodwork when it came to the possibilities of Jholie Moussa's murderer. A lot of people suspected her father, which I didn't get that one. But hey, to each his own, right? It's all about, I guess, going along the journey together. But it turns out it was her boyfriend. Um, that was such an, you know how sometimes the thing that seems the most likely, so you don't choose it, like that sounds too easy. If it was him, they'd have charged him already. So it got to be someone else. So I didn't really put it on him because it was like he's down the street and around the corner. Why hadn't they picked him up if it's him? So I went with the other theories, you know. Um, and if it was somebody that young, I didn't think that she would be missing for so long. And the fact that it seemed like her body was planted, and it seemed so out of the scope of something that a teenage boy could do. So that's part of the reason why I didn't look at him as, you know, the key suspect. Um, it's still unknown whether he acted alone. It's just new. He was just arrested yesterday. Um, and that's great news. That's a form of sense of closure for the family. You know, at least now they have a face to put with the act that took their daughter's life, their family member's life. And that in itself is a bit of, you know, nothing can bring them back. You know, we all know that, but hey, you know, this is step one. And I did see where the police were combing through one of the ponds in the area, one of the little lake ponds in the area, for, I guess, any remnants of possible evidence. She died of being smothered and blunt force trauma. So maybe they're looking for the item that caused the blunt force trauma. You know, with them having him in custody, maybe it's something that he disclosed that let them know that maybe they should be looking and combing that area to find that object. Yeah, I pretty much had an idea of kind of how she died, um, being beaten and so forth. I didn't quite know about the smothering, so that was some news. Poor baby, you know, poor baby. Yeah. Again, thank you guys for chiming into my comments saying, "Hey, yo, Nikki, yo, hello, get on it. I need to hear from you. This is what's happening right now. I need you to say something." So I just want to send prayers and blessings up to the family. You know, it got to be hard, you know, dealing with this. Anything like this, you can't imagine the amount of pain that goes through a family's just the whole dynamic of that family has changed. And prayers up to those guys and continued strength as they go through the trial process. Um, I'm sure there's more to come to light because I still don't believe that this young man single-handedly did everything. You know, it was a lot going on. You know, um, body just popped up out of nowhere. It just, I don't know. I still got questions. I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions in regards to it as well. If you've been following it the way I have, so I guess I'm ready to know all of the what. You know, we got this one person. Ding. I'm sure there's more to it. Can't wait to see how that plays out. Just happy to have some closure for this young lady and her family, most of all. Um, what's up, Keeks? How you guys doing? I know I've been MIA. My bad. Yeah, and I'm sorry to be chiming in on such a somber note. Hey, kids. Oh, hey, kids. Well, I was chiming in because Jholie Moussa's murderer has been arrested. It was her ex-boyfriend, the one that was brought in previously for past domestic violence. Um, like I was saying a little earlier, he didn't seem like the obvious person, only because I just felt like they'd have got him then. But maybe they were waiting for him to turn 18, you know? Something about somebody being arrested for murder as a minor, you know, the way they handle it, and then there's a different level when you become an adult. After you reach the 18 threshold, things are handled a little more extreme, a little more firm. So maybe they were kind of playing it out, you know what I mean? Trying to wait for this young man to become of age so he can truly pay for his crime the way an adult should pay for that crime. And if that's the way they paid it, then kudos, because anybody that can go and do something like this to someone that they claim they love, they deserve every bit that the authorities can, you know, do to them. So kudos to them if that's the way they played it out. That's the only sense I can make of not arresting him for the murder initially. You know, they figured they'd get him for the domestic, play that out, let that run its course, then boom, birthday pop, get his ass at 18. I'm with it. I'm with it. Get his goddamn ass and make him spill the tea on who, what, when, how, where, and all of it. Because as I stated, I really don't think he did this one alone. If he did the murder alone, I don't believe that he did the whole plant the body, cover up the evidence, don't tell. I think some friends knew some shit that they did not tell. I just really do. I'm just saying. And speaking to some people, if you kept up with any of my lives and you know any of the things that I put out about Jholie Moussa, you saw the interviews with the friends and you know a little conversation with the aunt and etc. etc. I think some people didn't keep it 100 when it came to this baby and bringing the truth to light. Man, I think a whole lot of shit. I'm just saying. I think that some people may become guilty in regards to what's the term? I'm not all savvy with all these technical terms and shit. What's the term when you're guilty for hiding the fact that you know some shit? Whatever that is, when you're guilty of not telling all the tea. You know what I mean? You don't lie, but you don't tell the truth. You know what I mean? You know who. They was close like this. All of them is close knit. They knew who. They knew the what. I'm just saying, they knew. And somebody was a part of covering some of that shit up. You know? I just believe that. In my heart, I believe that. But hey, I've been wrong a couple times in this one, so hell, I could be wrong now, but I doubt it. You know? I doubt it on that. I think some friends knew some shit. Well, you know my lives don't never last very long, so I won't hold you good people up. I just wanted to chime in and give my 2 cents. I'm happy that this young man was arrested for this murder. I know this is going to play out bigger than what it is right now. I know some other people may be at fault for this one. I just feel it. I just feel it. It's going to be some more justice to play out when it comes to Jholie Moussa. That's going to give her family a lot more relief. Because I remember how that family was playing it during this also. How they were kind of cold shouldering a lot of folks. Because, you know what I mean? They felt something. So this is going to be interesting. Peace and love to you guys. Can't wait to chime in again with another update in regards to this, because I know there's, like I said, it's gonna be more. Keep me posted, just in case I'm not in the loop and I'm busy in life doing whatever. I love the way you guys chimed in and tapped me on my shoulder on this one. Thank you. And if something pops and drops and I miss it and you don't see me on here talking about it, pop your girl on the shoulder and let me know. Because sometimes life happens, guys. Peace and loves. Blessings up. Talk to you guys next time. It's your girl, Tanika Nikki. Peace. All right, guys. Well, that's my take on Jholie Moussa's murder and all that transpired. Well, up next we have Alexandria, Virginia's police department giving an official statement about how they came to the conclusion that Jholie Moussa's boyfriend was the prime suspect and what led them to his arrest. And all the details about the case as it stands currently. Stay tuned. Here we go.
Here today, and we are here to discuss yesterday's arrest of 18-year-old Nebu Ibrahim in the January murder of 16-year-old Jholie Moussa. While our department is incredibly grateful for this arrest, our hearts remain heavy for the Moussa family. This morning you'll hear from Chief Rossler, followed by Major Crimes Commander Rich Perez, and we're also going to let you know about some great police work that continues in this case. We'll get with you offline about that, but we're going to provide you, the media, access to some of this police work that's going on this morning, and likely will go on into this afternoon, and we will update the community on exactly what's taking place with that later today. More details on that to come, but for now, Chief Rossler.
On behalf of the men and women of the Fairfax County Police Department, my prayers continue for Jholie's family. This is yet another horrible, tragic death of a young person from our community that had a bright future. From the moment that we got this call, we did not stop to find Jholie. Major Perez will follow me and describe the steps that we have taken to date and where we are going in the future to make sure we bring justice to Jholie and her family. Again, my prayers continue for Jholie's family. Major Rich Perez, the commander of the Major Crimes Bureau, will now join me and provide you with details of the investigation. Rich?
As already stated, yesterday homicide detectives filed charges against 18-year-old Ibrahim, Mr. Ibrahim, Nebu Ibrahim. The spelling on that is Nebu, N-E-B-I-Y-U, and Ibrahim is spelled E-B-R-A-H-I-M. He was charged with the murder of 16-year-old Jholie Moussa. On Saturday, January 13th, Jholie was reported missing by family members after she did not return home after leaving her residence the previous evening, Friday evening. The police department began an intensive investigation searching for Jholie, which led to the discovery of her body on January 25th. Her body was discovered by members of the search and rescue team, partially buried in a shallow site some distance off the footpath within Woodland Park, which is located in the 4800 block of Manor Drive in the Alexandria area of the county. During the ensuing investigation, detectives developed a person of interest regarding Jholie's disappearance and continued to vigorously investigate the case. On January 30th, we stood before you to inform you that a person of interest had in fact been developed and that every resource had been and would continue to be deployed towards identifying the person or persons responsible for Jholie's death. Yesterday, detectives served 18-year-old Nebyu Ibrahim with the documents which charges him with Jholie's murder. He is the person of interest who was initially developed. After locating further evidence and establishing the probable cause necessary to make the arrest, he was taken into custody. The defendant lived in the 8400 block of Diablo Court in the Alexandria area of the county. He lived there with his parents. This residence is within walking distance to where Jholie's body was discovered. Our investigation reveals that he was known to Jholie. They were not strangers to each other. Furthermore, our investigation reveals the defendant had previously assaulted Jholie. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner has ruled the cause of death to be asphyxia by smothering and blunt force trauma, and the manner of death homicide. More than 25 law enforcement personnel, including detectives, FBI agents, crime analysts, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children representatives, and officers from outside our region assisted in the search for Jholie. A total of 12 search warrants have been executed on this case as the department has tried to bring justice to the death of Jholie Moussa. Every technology and resource available to the police department was deployed, and detectives, crime scene technicians, laboratory scientists, victim services advocates have worked arduously in the pursuit of justice. In fact, as we speak, officers from the dive team and the crime scene detectives are conducting yet another search for further possible evidence at a water retaining pond near the intersection of Pondside Terrace and Pole Road in the Alexandria area of the county. We will continue to provide our unwavering support to be with Jholie's family, friends, and loved ones as this criminal case progresses in court. We thank everyone, including the many agencies who assisted us in the early phase of this investigation, including our FBI partners, and particularly the Commonwealth Attorney's Office of Mr. Ray Morrow, who has been with us every step of the way and now will prosecute this case. Because this is a murder trial, which is now just beginning, the police department will likely have no further updates as this case now falls to the purview of the Commonwealth Attorney's Office. I will take a few questions, but please be understanding and mindful that questions that relate to the operation or evidence and the prosecution that's yet to occur, we won't be able to elaborate on those items. Questions?
How long had her body been there? Do you have any idea whether she's been there the entire time?
We do have a real good estimate as to how long the body had been there. That's one of those questions that I won't be able to go into. We know precisely what it is that we're looking for, and again, that's one of those